just killed a man. Mama, didn't mean to make you cry. If I'm not back again this time tomorrow.
It all started as a dream, a vague idea that didn't even make sense to Freddie Mercury himself. In the late 1960s, while studying at Ealing Art College, he scribbled down random phrases as if he were writing a secret diary that no one would ever understand. Among these phrases, one stood out: "Mama just killed a man." There was something about these words that intrigued him, as if a story was trying to emerge, but he didn't yet know how to tell it. Years later, when Queen had already gained some recognition, Freddie finally decided to turn those sketches into something real. But what he had in mind was so unconventional that no one knew if it would actually work. The music industry had its rules, and they were clear. Songs had to follow a simple structure, with repetitive verses and choruses to make them easy to remember. And then came Freddie, with an idea that went against all of that. There would be no chorus, the song would have completely different sections, and to top it off, it would feature an operatic segment in the middle. It sounded like madness. And maybe it was. When Freddie presented the idea to the band, there was a mix of excitement and doubt. Brian May, Roger Taylor, and John Deacon were all exceptional musicians, but even they didn't know how to turn this storm of ideas into something cohesive. Still, they trusted Freddie's vision. And so began the most ambitious journey of their careers, the recording of Bohemian Rhapsody. Nothing about it would be simple. The song required techniques never before used in rock recordings. To capture all the sonic layers Freddie envisioned, Queen had to use 3 different studios. The operatic section alone required 180 vocal overdubs, something absolutely insane for the time. They spent hours and hours singing and re-recording the same phrases, stacking vocals on top of each other until they achieved the grandeur Freddie wanted. To maintain sound quality, the magnetic tapes were reused so many times that they almost became transparent. The effort was massive, but the result was starting to take shape. However, there was a problem. Queen's record label, EMI, wasn't enthusiastic about the song at all. 6 minutes long? No radio station would play that. The obvious solution was to cut parts out and create a shorter version for the public. But Freddie refused. Bohemian Rhapsody was a complete, indivisible work, and he would not allow it to be mutilated for commercial reasons. The label insisted, trying to convince him that no one would have the patience to listen to such a long and strange song. But Freddie had an ace up his sleeve. In a brilliant move, he handed a copy of the song to DJ Kenny Everett, a close friend and one of the most influential voices on British radio. Kenny knew exactly how to stir up public curiosity. Without making any official announcement, he started playing Bohemian Rhapsody on his show, not just once, but 14 times in a single weekend. The result? The radio station's phone lines wouldn't stop ringing. People were desperate to know what that hypnotic song was, where it came from, and who these musicians were bold enough to mix opera, rock, and ballad in one composition. With public demand growing uncontrollably, EMI had no choice. They had to release Bohemian Rhapsody in its entirety. When the single finally hit the stores, the reaction was overwhelming. The song exploded onto the charts, reaching #1 in the UK and staying there for 9 consecutive weeks. Queen had won. The song that no one wanted to release had become a phenomenon. But the revolution didn't stop there. Freddie knew they needed to do something different to promote Bohemian Rhapsody. Instead of simply appearing on TV shows to perform the song live, as was common at the time, they had another idea: to record a music video. This may seem ordinary today, but in 1975, it was groundbreaking. Bruce Gowers directed the video using a tiny budget and just 4 hours of filming. The band appeared dramatically lit, recreating the iconic image from the Queen II album cover. Simple but striking. The video helped cement the band's visual identity, and without realizing it, They anticipated the MTV revolution years before it even existed. As time passed, Bohemian Rhapsody transcended its era. When Wayne's World was released in 1992, featuring a memorable scene of the characters singing the song in a car, a new generation discovered Queen. The effect was immediate. The song returned to the charts almost 2 decades after its original release. And in 2018, with the biographical film Bohemian Rhapsody, the phenomenon repeated itself once again. Decades later, Freddie Mercury's creation was still echoing around the world. Even with all this success, the true meaning of the song remains a mystery. Freddie never revealed exactly what it was about. Many theories have surfaced. Some say it was a confession about his sexuality. Others believe it tells the story of a crime and its consequences. Some even think it's a metaphor for an internal struggle. But in the end, perhaps the secret of Bohemian Rhapsody is precisely this: its ability to allow each person to feel something different when listening to it. What is undeniable is that the song became one of the greatest masterpieces in music history. In 2004, it was inducted into the Grammy Hall of Fame, officially recognizing its historical significance. Its impact goes far beyond sales or records. It is a song that moves people, challenges conventions, and shows what music can be when made without fear. Above all, it is proof that Freddie Mercury's genius will never be forgotten. Decades have passed, but the scene remains the same. Every time someone presses play on Bohemian Rhapsody, something magical happens. Whether it's a teenager discovering Queen for the first time or an old fan reliving the emotion of hearing those first piano notes, the reaction is always the same: a chill, an instant connection to something greater. And in the end, maybe that's exactly what makes this song eternal.